If I virtual assistant, I don't want to make the same mistakes I made when I started my virtual assistant business, then this video is for you. This video is about the 10 things that I wish I knew before starting my virtual assistant business. Welcome guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been so long, I know, but I'm back like I never left, guys. I'm a virtual assistant and I've been a virtual assistant for the past 4 years, and I've worked with so many clients. Years of experience has actually taught me some things that I wish that I knew when I started my virtual assistant business. I've been able to come up with 10 of these things so that for aspiring virtual assistants or new virtual assistants out there, so that you'll be able to not make those type of mistakes and you'll be able to learn from my own mistakes and go from there. Number 1 on my list is done is better than perfect. Because I'm a perfectionist, and being a perfectionist as a virtual assistant, it makes me overwork myself, and I always want things to be done perfectly well. I pay attention to details and all of that, and fine, there's nothing wrong with paying attention to details, but I realized that being a virtual assistant, it doesn't work that way. Some of the time you just have to get things done, you just have to get your task done, because the reason your clients actually contacted you to work with them is because they want somebody that can actually make them cross their to-do list ASAP. You should be able to do those things without waiting for it to be perfect, because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. Perfect is an illusion. Number 2 on my list is you already have the skills. Because most of the time, a lot of my students, when they come to me, I want to become a virtual assistant, and they get a copy of my book and they've done everything that I told them to do and all of that, they're always like, they still need something. They feel like something is still missing. They don't feel like they are doing that very virtual assistant well, because they are not sure of their skills. The point is, if you can actually solve a problem for people, if you've been solving a problem for yourself, or probably on social media virtual assistant, by the way, so probably you've been solving problems for people online and probably for yourself, and you know, all of this, you have these skills, all of these soft skills like communication skills, how to turn your thoughts into captions, how to be able to communicate with people, and how to tell a story, how to respond well to DMs, how to come up with content ideas. You already have the skills. Most, like 8 out of 10, you have the skills. The problem is when to start. Just start. Number 3 on my list is, I'll say, pick your business name carefully. Because I realized that while I was my first year as a virtual assistant, I struggled with my name, because my name on Instagram, especially for my business, is my 247 virtual assistant. And I don't know, one way or the other, it became my reality. Like, I had to work almost 247. I started to work 247. Like, I work and work and work my heart out. It's not meant to be so, but it is what it is. But my point is that that's actually a side talk. But my point is that choose your name carefully. How does this affect you? You have a social media platform, you have a website, or you have your name represents your brand. And if you choose a name that is weird, probably like a random name, you may not be searchable online on Google. You have to use a name that you, first of all, be sure that when people are looking for virtual assistants, your name will pop up, your business name will pop up. That's just it. You have to think about a creative way to name your brand, so that it will be something that anybody anywhere in the world, when they search for virtual assistant on Google, on social media, your name pops up. That's just it. My name on social media is my 247 virtual assistant, and I've been able to maintain this particular name in all of my social media platforms. So whenever I feel like I just go to Google and search my name, one way or the other, I find out that my platforms pop up, my social media platforms pop up, and that's it. It's just the easy way. It's just the easy thing to do. Then the fourth on my list, I've been talking about 10 things I wish I knew before starting my virtual assistant business. And number 4 on my list is finding the right support system is harder than you think. This is actually coming from my own experience as a virtual assistant, because when my first year as a virtual assistant, I realized that even though I work from home and I do a lot of things from home, engage with my clients from home. I coach people to become virtual assistant from home. It was so difficult for me because some of the time I'm just so clueless about it. It's like my first year of working with people outside of the country that I am, and it's always so difficult for me to blend into their system in a way that it will not actually show that new. You understand? It's not that it is bad to be new or a beginner at a business or at a role, but some of the time you have to just keep up with the expert level that you have already presented yourself to be. I find it was so difficult because I didn't have a community of virtual assistants or social media managers that I could connect with to get content ideas, to rub minds. How much are you charging your clients? What are the tools that you are using? How are you getting paid? And all of that. It was difficult for me, but after a while I came up with a community on Telegram for virtual assistants, because I thought about why not just start a community of virtual assistants if I'm looking for that, and it's something that I can actually start on my own. I just thought about it and I came up with a group, like a community of virtual assistants worldwide on my Telegram. I saw that a lot of people were looking for exactly that same thing. Don't ever think that you don't need a community. You need a community. It is not easy to work all alone. You need people's ideas. You need people's. Some of the time you just want to vent. Some of the time you just want to vent about a particular client that is showing you shaggy. You just want to vent and all of that. I'm going to be adding the link to the Telegram group on the description of this video. Number 5 on my list is that other people won't always believe in you. Yes, other people will not always believe in you, and it's fine. Some of the time you can be the one that actually believe in yourself, and there's no problem about that. It's actually not easy for a virtual assistant, especially some of my students that actually transition from their 9 to 5 to become a virtual assistant. It's very, very hard because people, your immediate family, your friends will be like, are you crazy? Why will you resign from your 9 to 5 and start a virtual assistant business that you are not even sure of how many clients that you have? There's no job security. Your clients can sack you anytime, things like that. But my point is that some of the time you have your own freedom is in your hands, because you have to believe in yourself. You have to actually believe that you can do it. You shouldn't wait for other people to trust you before you start to believe in yourself, because if you wait and depend on other people's words of affirmation, other people's trust, it may really affect you, because some of the time when people are not in a good mood and they don't even pay attention to you, you will not be able to, you will always seek their validation, and that is not going to make you move forward. So number 6 on my list is that you are not just starting a business, you are changing your life, and the business is just a bonus. Exactly. Being a virtual assistant seemed like just starting a business. My first year, I remember that I was super scared that I'm starting a business and I don't even know what and how this business is going to run and everything. But guess what, guys? I realized that my role in people's life, especially my clients' life, is very, very important, because I realized that I make their life easier. Even though it seemed like my first and second year as a virtual assistant, I didn't really realize this. In my mind, I was just thinking about, how am I going to be good at what I do? How am I going to improve on myself? It was just about me. But later, after working for like a year or two, I was able to realize that some of the time as a virtual assistant, your calling is to make other people's life easier. And I feel that is like a very huge impact you are making in people's lives. Have that at the back of your mind when you're starting your virtual assistant business. Number 7 on my list, you don't need to undervalue your work to get clients. Exactly. You don't have to undervalue your work to get clients. What do I mean by this? Because I'm a virtual assistant coach, I receive lots and lots of DMs from people, new virtual assistants, some of them with experiences, some of them without experience. They will send me DM asking me that, do I need an intern? And they are even ready to work with me for free. That thing is so annoying to me, not because of how they want to learn, but it's because they are actually thinking of working for me for free. I don't think you should work for anybody for free. I do not think you should work for anybody for free, because your knowledge is valuable, you are valuable, and you shouldn't make, because you are desperate to get a client, you should put yourself in a position where people will take advantage of you. It's very wrong. Instead of that, improve on yourself and try to sharpen your skills, learn more things that will actually position you as an expert. So even if you seem not to, if clients don't come to you as a new virtual assistant, you can get roles. You can apply for virtual assistant roles, probably from LinkedIn, probably from Instagram. People share that they are hiring and lots more. You can apply even if you don't get clients coming to you. And if you are just as you are very, very desperate and you need a client as soon as possible, you can easily sign up on Fiverr and Upwork and try to have a profile there. And if you position your portfolio the right way, I actually have a template for having the right portfolio, the right contract, everything that you need in your onboarding process. I have a template for it if you actually need. I'm going to be adding a link to get the templates in my description box. So my point is that if you actually have all of this in place, you can work and get paid no matter how small. I don't see a reason why you should undervalue your skills and offer to work for people for free, because people can actually take advantage of you. Please, is a no. Then number 8 on my list, beware of shining object syndrome and focus on one thing at a time. Exactly, because we are in the social space where everybody probably on social media, people are, you get to see a social media manager or a virtual assistant that is killing it in a game. You don't even know how long it took that person to get to exactly where they are. You just want to be like that person in a day, or you just, oh, the person is sharing, oh, I'm earning this, I'm earning $5,000 in a month, I can do this. It makes you get distracted because you are always in these people's profiles, or you're always on their timeline, checking for their progress, checking for what they are doing, even trying to copy them. But my point is that we are all unique in our own ways, and it's pointless trying to copy people, and it's pointless trying to be like other people. You can have role models, you can have people that mentor you and all of that, but wanting to copy them in an exact way is going to drain you. I'll say that just try to be yourself and try to improve on yourself so that you don't even have to. Most of the time we neglect what we have because our focus is what we want, and that is actually, you can actually be ambitious through that, but there's a thin line between that and having a shining object syndrome. You understand? So anyways, number 9 on my list is that things that seem super intimidating aren't that stressful. As a virtual assistant, then I remember my first year, there was a point that there was a time one of my clients gave me a task to do. I was super crazy because, first of all, I don't even know this task. I don't know anything about it. It's not something that I've done before, but because I want to position myself as an expert, I want her to see me as an expert. I just offered to do it for her. Then after offering to do it for her, I went mute. I started avoiding her calls. Anytime I see her emails, I would be so scared that, oh, she wants to ask me for the update of this task. Then I just took my time though. What exactly is this app about? She wanted me to see an app for her and be able to set it up for her. I had to start to read about it. I went on YouTube and I searched for it. There's something I've realized as a virtual assistant. There's absolutely nothing in this world that you cannot do. All you have to do is set your mind at it and you do it. It's just so funny, and people find this very difficult. Most of the things that we do is from our mind. I was able to do that particular task, and I realized that it's not as stressful as I actually imagined in my head. Anyway, that is gone. Then number 10 on my list is that you have to be patient. Yes. As a new virtual assistant, you have to be very patient because getting a client can be tricky. Your first year, your first 6 months, it may be very, their first year they are able to, or their first 6 months they just get clients. No, you have to be patient. Some of the time it may have to be your friends, you may have to work for your friends, or get referrals from people to be able to tick that your first client mark. So you have to be very patient as a virtual assistant because you are new on this game, and it's so hard to get clients if you are new because people need to see what you've done before to be able to trust you. That's that. Thank you guys for listening to my video. I have a bonus for you guys, and the bonus is that I use some of these apps that I found out while shooting this video. Some of the apps that I use, not for the video actually, but I actually found it out while I was researching for this video. And some of this app is, I use LastPass. I realized that I'm very bad with keeping passwords for me and for my clients. It's something that I actually really struggle with, and I'm like, now that I know this app to be able to keep passwords safe, I think I should just share with you. I use LastPass to save passwords. And another bonus is that I use Loom. Loom allows you and your clients to screen record your screen and send to you, in case you have a client that wants to send you an information to explain, probably an explainer video, and you don't even know the app to use. Use Loom. Loom is a very good app for that. Another thing is that, which is actually the most important as a new virtual assistant or an aspiring virtual assistant, another thing is that I will tell you that Google everything. If you think that you are finding it difficult to probably do a task and you're already working with a client, don't say no. Never say no to a client that you're working with. No, in the sense of something that has to do with your work, something that you are meant to know. Google it. Look for ways to do it on YouTube. You will always get an answer.